Welcome to Crow Flow. For this class, you're gonna be needing some foam roller and some type of balls that you could use. This is a peanut ball, and this one is a lot similar, but a lot softer. And you could, take this out and then separate them if you want to use just one ball. If you are not used to rolling, I do suggest something a lot softer to start with because you really don't want to aggravate with a hard ball like this one. I'm gonna be linking all of this down below. These are all in my Amazon shop, but this big foam roller here by Rolga, and I've been using this for years now. I love this because of the grooves. See that? It's perfectly hugging your spine. So when you have scoliosis, or actually not just people with scoliosis, everybody is not even because we use one side more than the other. So the tendency, if you're not practicing, you're always uneven. So having something like this is really gonna help you more than the ordinary foam roller, and you'll know why. You'll feel it. Like, you have to just trust me on this. All right, we are gonna start down low. Grab your foam roller, and I love to start rolling my hamstrings, my legs, before a crow type of class. So what we're gonna do is you're just gonna put your legs underneath the foam roller. Palms are flat down, and I like my fingers pointing left and right outside. And you're just gonna start to roll back and forth. This is so good, this foam roller, particularly for the legs as well, because if you'll notice, this left and right, the grooves on outsides are perfect to hug those thighs and your shin. It's just perfect, whatever shape or size your legs are, you will feel it. It's just like it hits so good. And so we're just gonna start to roll. It's always nice to roll before you start a vigorous type of arm balance class, at least for me, because I kind of wanna make especially if it's early in the morning, right? You kind of wanna warm or warm it up to just really get your fascia a little bit loosened up. It's really important. And you don't want to overdo it too, just like finding that sweet spot. My hamstrings are insanely sore today because I have been filming the last bits of my program, and it's so intense. My hamstrings are screaming in pain. So that's why. Okay, now we're gonna roll the fronts of our legs. And I like to do it like this. I'm gonna come down onto my forearms, put it onto my shins, the left and the right side of the Rolga foam roller, and you'll see here, hands first. From there, you're gonna drop down. This is a great, great way to also strengthen those wrists. When you get onto your forearms, slide forward, push up to your hands. And that is a lot easier than actually doing it without the roller. So if you're working on that, this is such a great way to do that. So from here, right? And try to really kind of hollow the upper body. Obviously it's not hollowed, but you're engaging the core, pushing all the way up, dropping down as you drop the elbows towards your midline. Beautiful. So remember, it's not splaying out, always inside, and then you start to roll back and forth. When it arrives on top of the knees or the thighs part, then you want to point the toes up, bend the knees, and now we're going to start to really roll the quads this way. Breathe. Good. And then from there, I like to kind of get a little bit back bend, softening your body, allowing yourself to melt down with gravity, and just take deep breaths here. Good. Oh, so good. All right. Okay, now if you want to warm up the spine, let's go ahead since we're already here, and we're gonna do that. So put it behind your back. I like to hug my elbows or myself this way, and then really get digging deep. Ooh, so good. Just rolling back and forth. Good. So many obstacles, my hair, my... All right. Obviously, there's gonna be timestamps down below if you wanna skip all these parts, but I suggest you don't skip it. It is very, very important. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. And then for these peanut type of balls, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you both, same thing, right? But obviously you're gonna do left and right. If you only have one, you're just gonna put it in between and then squash it. So if I were to show you one side, it's gonna be like this, hands down, side pointing to the sides, lifting. So heel on the left leg is gonna be planted, or the straight one, and then you're just going to really shift forward this way, getting that stretch in your arms, your shoulders, and then from here you can start to rotate the hands, fingertips pointing back. Oh, it's so intense. That's so good for the hamstring. Eek, and then drop. Whoo. And then that's all you really need there. That was intense, a little bit of a rest. And then we're gonna do that on the other side. Because again, my hamstring's super intensely sore. Okay, from here now, inhale, lift up, straighten your body, exhale, shift forward. Ooh, now you're stretching, so many actions happening here. You're stretching the quads, you're stretching your groin area, the thighs, you're stretching your shoulders, your wrists, and that's it. Even the ankles, see? The toes, and drop. Ooh. Ah. All right, now we're gonna set it aside. Same thing with this, you know, but this is a lot softer. And I love this for a gentler practice for me, but because I'm sore today, that's why I'm using that harder one. Okay. Now we're gonna start warming up in a seated position. Coming to our Dandasana, L shape with the legs or the body, you're gonna start to really get your fold here. Okay, if you cannot bend or straighten the knees yet, I always encourage people to drop the heels down, toes are up, grab the backs of your heels and fold here. This is a great fold. Eventually, you'll be able to really straighten your legs with each practice, or as you get more mobility with your legs and flexibility, and then you're gonna fold. Ooh. So we're gonna start with some dynamic folds, going up and down with a fold. Oh, so good. And then we're gonna get some twists. So we're gonna cross the right leg on outside of the left, and then I want you to really get that knee hugged towards your chest. You're going to lift your chest up, breathing in. Exhaling, you're going to twist to the left or the right side. Woo. So you could also do this. Left hand sweeps up, drop the right hand behind you. Inhale, exhale to twist. Stay here. Compress, compress. With each exhalation, get a little bit deeper with the compression. All right. Good. Woo. Now getting into that figure four shape, just dropping the knee down. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale to fold down. Now this is gonna be a static fold, meaning you're holding that fold. Toes are up, flex the foot. Ooh. Good, and now we're going to massage the bottom of your right foot with a hand. So it's really important to do massages, acupuncture, acupressure, whatever can help. It's really just important to massage your whole body, you know, massaging your face even, avoiding the wrinkles. Good. And then the toes, I like to stretch one toe at a time as well. Good. Now we're gonna fold, grabbing the backs of that right leg. Inhale, stretch the knee. Exhale, point that toes. You're gonna fold all the way to your face. Ooh, so intense. I love. Good. Now from here, you're gonna flex that foot. Breathe in, breathe out. Grabbing that foot with that opposite hand, drop it down. Right hand will now draw that one horizontal line from that foot all the way to your back. Good. Stay here and twist. release, back to your center, drop the foot down. We're doing that on the left leg. Okay, left foot will cross outside of the right leg. Inhaling, left hand will drop down, right hand sweeps up, breathing in. Breathing out to twist, drop that hand outside of that left knee, grab the right leg, or touch it. Ooh. Big breath in, breath out, twist some more. Good. My bangs is not cooperating. Beautiful. Hug some more. Drop the knee, figure 4 shape. Inhale and exhale down. Ooh, so intense. So sore. I don't know if I can do the crow, to be honest. I'm just gonna wing this. I'm gonna pray. Okay, lift yourself up and we're gonna massage the bottom of our soles. Or soles of our feet, bottom of our foot. So this side, inside of your inner arch, you want to really massage that when you're doing back bends or before you do back bends. It helps with your spine. I believe in those. Like if you'll notice, you pushing all those pressures with the acupuncture, it actually really does a huge factor with your practice. I mean, not just your practice, but how you feel in general. Good. Okay, now I like to, again, stretch one toe at a time. Obviously, if you're not comfortable with that, you don't want to do it, right? But it helps so much for me. And then toes back. Ooh. Good. All right. Now straight, stretch that knee, point the toes, inhale. Exhale, send it towards your head. Keeping that foot flexed, the other foot. This is pointed, right? Trying to train your body to do different things. It starts there with your proprioception, right? Doing opposite things at the same time. And being aware and mindful about that. All right, now you're gonna flex that foot. Woo, intense, send it closer, breathe in. Breathe out closer. Beautiful. Hold. 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 You're not holding your breath. You're just holding the position. And woo, drop, release. Good. All the fingers, you will insert it one by one in between the toes. Good. And then now you're going to squeeze. You're going to really squeeze by sending the toes like you're curling them. Whoop. And you're holding. You should feel that. This is not relaxed. And then, ooh, intense release. Whew. All right, now hands back. Doesn't matter wherever it's pointing. You're going to rotate. Ground your heels firmly. Rotating the toes to the left side. And rotating it back to your center. Now to the right side. Good. We forgot the twist here. Let's do the twist. Okay, grab the outside of your left foot. Inhale. Stretch that leg. Exhale. Twist. Ooh. Stay for a few more. Whew. Intense. Okay, let go. Whee! Shake, shake. Bakasana, feet are gonna be together. Inhale, flatten your back. Open the butt cheeks to the left and to the right. Exhale, fold all the way down. Good. Now when you're ready, coming onto our tabletop position, knees in line with your hips, hands and wrists. in line with your shoulders. Good, hands or shoulders distance apart. You're gonna start to flex one foot at a time and curl it all the way towards your bum. So heel towards the bum, right? As if you're doing hamstrings curls or hamstring curls. Drop, and then doing that on the other side. Whoop, curl, and all the way as much as you can. It's not relaxed. Ooh, and then drop. Okay, we're doing marches now. 4, 5. Other side. 4. Other side. 3. Other side. 2. Drop and other side. Last one. And then other side. Beautiful. Push back. Child's pose to stretch all the way your arms. Breathe in, breathe out, melt a little bit. Stay for a few here. Beautiful. Coming on to our Vajrasana or Thunderbolt, you're going to roll your shins to the right, rolling yourself to the left. Good. Heels are going to be really pointed all the way towards your bum. Your tops of your feet are really stretching. Your ankles are getting more flexible. You got this. Keep on rolling. Whew. And now your lower body is a lot more warmed up. Good. Now pushing all the way down to your heels. From here, you're gonna lift the knees up. Okay, so we're just gonna do this for 5. Hovering the knees. 4. Your heels are planted and not drop. 3. 2, rather your knees. Did I say knees or heels? And 1. Good. Push all the way back. Okay, so this position, I know this is not accessible to everyone, but I hope you can get it. If not, you can keep your heels lifted. But you want to really stretch, right? So the technique here is really open up the feet, the knees as wide as you can. That's why you stretch in Bakasana or butterfly pose. But then I want you to get here and then push out. Ooh, drop the heels if you can. Good. We're gonna stay for a few more. It's my favorite stretch more than the frog pose. The frog pose is not really ideal for my bone structure. And you will feel that because frog pose and middle splits are one asana that is really not accessible to every person. So however you get flexible, there's just like bone structures that are not meant for that. And you really want to know all these things, like if your end range is already maxed out, right? Okay, now you're going to shift your weight left and right. But see the mobility of what I'm doing here with my toes and my ankles, right? You're really like opening up, lifting the heel, toes are like it's intense stretch. So it's not just like, you're just not like doing this, right? You're really like doing it with intention. Ooh, all right. So good. Okay. I'm just gonna face the other side. Now we're gonna flow and add some spinal waves. So from child's pose to tabletop, we're gonna roll our spine back and forth here. Child's pose, roll to tabletop, and back to child's pose. Keep on going. Pairing it with your breath. Okay, now we're gonna add in. As you roll to your tabletop, you're gonna kick your heels towards your bum. Point the toes this time. Good, and then arching the back now, you're going to kind of form this king cobra shape, right? So now you're dipping the hips all the way down as much as you can, back bending, getting a micro bend in the elbows, drawing them towards your midline, looking up, breathe in. Breathe out, round and back to child's pose. Good. Breathe in, roll round to tabletop. Kick your heels towards your bum, drop the hips, king cobra. Breathe in, breathe out, drop to child's pose. Good. Now coming to your tabletop, you're gonna send your right knee towards your chest or your armpits. Okay, from here, you're gonna drop that right knee out to the sides. Good. And then getting a back bend. Holding for a few breaths. Focusing on that inner thigh opening. Relaxing the glutes, you're not squeezing. Good. Send it towards your chest. Drop it back, child's pose. Left knee towards your armpits as you lift up. Beautiful. Now you're gonna send it outside this time. Same thing what we did, and then back, bend, breathe in. Breathe out. Stay for a few more, focusing on the inner thighs. When you're ready, breathing in, send it towards your chest. Exhale, drop to child's pose. Okay, now we're gonna do some dynamic movement. Sending the right leg out, back bend, and then drop to child's pose. Switch sides, left leg, back bend, and then child's pose. Right side, child's pose. Left side, child's pose. Beautiful, last set, right side, child's pose. Left side, child's pose. All the way now, you're gonna extend your arms. We're gonna come into our upward facing dog by sliding your head in front of your mat, all the way up. Pick yourself up, knees are up, upward facing dog. Push back, downward facing dog. Now your legs are a lot more warmed up in a down dog. And then we're gonna have our feet together. We're gonna start with the right leg, lifting all the way up. Breathing in and breathing out here. We're staying in this position for a few breaths. You can play with whatever shape you want, maybe opening the hips, bending the knee, circling that right knee or that upper knee, right? Getting fluid with your spine. Whew, drop that foot. Good, left leg lifts up, breathe in. Stay here, breathe out. You could either do that static hold if you like, or if you like to open and give it some movement with me, you can do that. Good. Drop it down, right leg will lift up, breathing in. Exhale, you're gonna send it towards your chest, and then you're going to drop to your figure four shape. Beautiful, push back. Bend that left knee now. Oh, you're gonna stretch the hips here. You feel that intensity and you're doing it right. Glue your belly to that leg as much as you can. Good. Drop that right foot outside of the right hand, lizard lunge. Push back, downward facing dog. Feet together, left leg will lift up, breathe in. Breathe out, knee to your chest, push it back, figure four shape. Bend the knee, compress your body. Now observe which one was tighter for your hip, left or right. If you know which one's tighter, then you will know, oh, what did I do today, right? What made me do that? Maybe I should change a little bit of my habit to even that out, right? Left knee will step outside of the left hand. Lizard lunge, drop the back knee down. Open up here. Again, if this is intense for you, you always have the option to turn out your toes facing out, because squaring everything is a lot harder, right? If you're not able to do that, remember to not square things. Turn the toes out, knees out. It's a lot easier, but then eventually your goal is to get that great alignment, which is not really a goal, but it's just that you know there's room for improvement. Good, push back, downward facing dog, yay! Okay, now from here, we're going to drop the forearms down. I want you to really get your forearms towards your midline, right? So you're gonna rotate them, elbows inside, as you drop one forearm at a time. Okay, from there, you're going to really look back in between your big toes. You could interlace your fingers here so that you can actually get your elbows towards each other closer. From here, we're gonna walk baby steps. We're not rushing. Try to straighten your knees as much as you can as you walk towards your elbows. Beautiful. From there, walk it out to dolphin pose. And then drop the heels. From here, you're going to tip your toes, touch your thumbs with the forehead or nose, and drop. Good. For 5. Drop. 4. Drop. 3. Drop. 2. Drop. 1. Drop the knees down. Good. Hands forward and lift up. Okay, now I want you to really get a feel of your hands closer than your shoulders distance, right? It could be shoulders distance, but I want you to really get it a little closer. From there, you're now gonna drop tabletop, dropping the elbows more closer. Okay, I know this sounds like, why are we doing this? We're doing crow pose. So the reason is because you want your elbows getting used to not splaying out in any arm balance. Well, it depends. If you're doing figure, it depends on the arm balance. But for crow pose, you don't want it out because you want to get used to your elbows squeezing towards. So when you look in the mirror, your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists should be in one straight line. And that's the form that you want. Drop the elbows down and push forward. Now, as you get used to this is intense. When you do this, the tendency is that your elbows will splay out, right? Observe yourself. But now what you want to train your mind, your body, is that you're squeezing them towards your elbow. And this way, you're gonna get a strong crow. So you wanna keep on doing this until your body gets used to this. So this is a great flow to go to all of the time and try again, even after several tries. Because remember, going back to basics will always strengthen your foundation. Trust me, foundation is key. Do not lose the foundation. All right, from there, get into your tabletop position, and we're gonna come to our downward facing dog. We're gonna walk towards our hands. Halfway lift, flatten your back, big breath in. Exhale, we're gonna get a fold first. Good. Hands forward. And then now I want your hands, shoulders, or a little bit closer than your shoulders distance. And why do I say that a little bit closer? Because the tendency, I'm just gonna show you a little bit, right, is that if you lean forward all the time, your elbows will splay out. It's just kind of like, science or physics. So what you really want is to kind of counteract what that physics is doing to really squeeze yourself in. And when you do that, you're really working on your muscles, you're engaging more, right? So you want to really work on your forearms. I mean, obviously, any arm balance is an arm balance, shoulders, everything. So now, I like my index fingers pointing forward. I always say this in my videos because majority of the people in this day and age is that we're always rounding, texting, computer, so our shoulders are rounded. To counteract that, we really want to open it up, unless we're living in the old days, right? But not anymore now. So when you have your index fingers pointing forward, you're a little bit rounded. When you turn it out, index now is forward, rather the middle finger I said earlier, right? So now, this is what we want. And I want you to get used to, crow is hard when you cannot get into your Malasana or Yogi squat. Remember, any type of arm balance, whatever that may be, if you're very, very limited with your flexibility, it is gonna be extra, extra harder. So you want to work on your flexibility first before you actually really keep on working or getting into an arm balance. Because when you have a very mobile body, arm balance are gonna be a lot easier. And that applies to all arm balances. Okay, from here, Malasana, so you wanna touch your knee towards your upper arm, which is just above your elbows. So if you cannot reach it, you know that, okay, I'm very, very limited, right? You're probably very tight. You want to really work on your Malasana or Yogi squat first. But what we're gonna do is shift your weight forward. So now, as you do this, notice my shoulders are now past my wrists. And that is really normal. That's how you do arm balance, and that's how you really engage, learn to really strengthen your wrist. So when you go your shoulders past the wrist, you will notice that you want to really get that spider fingers or bending all your knuckles, Because the tendency, even in handstands, right, when you start to push forward, your wrists are actually not bearing all the weight. The weight is going towards the wrist, and this bent spider fingers, if you will, is allowing you to stop yourself from dropping down. So there's a lot that's going on in here, right? There's so many people that told me like you always flop forward, and that just like requires a lot of training, and that's okay, that's totally normal. So what I want you to do is like see your elbows might be now facing forward. Again, this is gonna be different for everyone if you have hypermobile elbows or if you're not, so work on your bone structure, right? So if you do this, we're gonna lean forward and we're just gonna hold the shoulders past the wrist as you're still on your tippy toes down on the mat, right? It doesn't have to be fully bent. I just want you to work on a little bit straight. Doesn't really matter. You're just shoulders past the wrist, holding that position for 10. Breathe. 9, elbows towards your midline. 8, when you look down, shoulders, elbows, wrists are in line. 7, I know it's long. 6, hold. 5, 4, 3, I'm not relaxed, I'm really putting pressure. 2, and 1, relax for a little bit, getting into our wide-legged boat. If you want to relax and just relax here, you're already exhausted, that's totally fine too. When I'm doing relax, I just like to do more core stuff, sorry. So in this wide boat, I'm just engaging my core, finding my balance, and really trying to feel my equilibrium, right? You will learn that left and right should be balanced, and that applies to arm balances. You will learn physics too in arm balance as you draw those lines in your head. All right, Bakasana, butterfly pose. Inhale, exhale, fold. Beautiful, now we're gonna do more drills. Coming on to that crow shape. Okay, from here, we're now going to lean forward, drop, put the knees on top of that elbows, right? So again, if you're over here below the elbows, it means you need to work on compression. This requires a lot of compression, right? And that requires a lot too. That's why I always say compression will take you a long way. Okay, whew, so much talking. We're going to do some drills. Okay, from here, we're gonna lift one heel up towards the bum, and from there, point your toes. You're gonna really squeeze as if you're doing hamstring curls. And you're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna drop, shift a little bit back. You're not gonna rest, shift forward, lift the left leg up, or the heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop a little bit, the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop, last leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop, rest in a boat pose. Grab your heels, lift it up. You could either rest here, holding your boat or your legs. Chest up, roll the shoulders back, and stay here. And why I also like to rest in a boat, wide leg, whatever, that is kind of using your core. Because arm balances, it also starts with the core. If your core is not, doesn't know how to engage or activate during that time when it needs to, it's hard to do everything, right? So arm balance is a lot about the core. So just getting used to core engagement without much effort is also gonna help with arm balances to be easier. Whew. So hard to talk to do all these things. But I'm so happy you guys are here because I love my practice so much and I love sharing it with you. All right, woo, shaking, right? When you feel that your body starts to shake, you can actually start to hold for about 5 to 10 seconds more to build that little bit of a strength, right? And then release. Shake, 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 intense. All right, now we're gonna drop the tops of our palms down and then drop the knees on top of your palm. We're just gonna decompress because that is intense for the wrist, and then you're gonna shift your weight forward and then back. Good. Forward, back. Forward, and back. And now maybe you want it steady there. Again, this is gonna be different for everyone, right? And then now I want to take the elbows out. Now this is your time to splay out your elbows. If I were to face you, so you can see what I mean, right? So you're shifting forward, it's straight, and then here, it's out. Out. This is also going to improve your wrist mobility so that you don't get injured like I did before. And side. There, beautiful. Ooh. And then roll the wrist and the knuckles. And now I'm going to face you with a crow so you can see the form that I'm talking about. Whew. So see this? Index, finger, look at my shoulders, is forward versus middle finger pointing forward, right? So there's a huge, huge difference. A little bit of movement or adjustment will make a huge difference in your body without us even noticing it, right? So shift forward, and then as you shift forward, I want you to get your elbows straight, right? So if I'll show you like that. Okay, so now just hold that position, because a lot of the arm balances, you start to lean when your shoulders are going past your wrist. So if you have wrist or poor wrist mobility, it's impossible to actually hold any arm balances. So you want to stretch and strengthen those basics, which are mobility, wrist mobility, ankle mobility. I don't think we consider that, but it is really, really important. It's actually whole body. Core strength. So I want you to just keep on doing that, because this is gonna really develop that whole like engagement. When you do that, you feel your forearms working, your upper arm, everything, the upper arm, the forearms are all working. Okay, now you're gonna start to spider fingers by rooting down the base knuckles. The base knuckles are the ones that the fingers connected to the palm, right? And then from there, you will feel that the upper are open. And then from here, see my shoulders, elbows, look at how my veins are now popping. That's how much I'm engaging. And then the wrists are down. And then shift forward and then back, right? So you want to get used to both the palms and then the fingers that are spiders. And just keep on doing that. Good, because that whole thing that is straight will help with crane pose, right? So Bakasana is really the crane pose, which is the straight elbows. Kakasana is the Sanskrit really for crow pose, but I think we're all used to Bakasana in crow. But in the technical terms, is Kakasana is crow. So, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, so now you're going to start shifting your weight to one side and really now get a feel of the crow. So take a feel of where your gaze or your drishti. I find like drishti is different for everyone depending on your current status in whatever arm balance you're working on. So for example, and what I mean by that is that if you're the type to flop forward, what you want to do with your drishti, you gaze forward and up to lift your chest up. And it's gonna look like this. Right? But if you tend to actually flop back more, then you want to gaze a little bit down, right? So it's gonna look like this. So that's like really, there's really no right or wrong, at least in my opinion. I really want you to explore what works for your body, because everybody has their own fear, right? If your fear of falling, that's so normal. I started like that. What I did was, I'm not joking, I actually put a helmet on, bike helmet, because I knew that I have the strength, I have my shoulder mobility, I have my shoulder strength, arms, core, but I'm just so scared that I'm gonna fall. And even if I put pillows, it did not work for me. So what worked for me is a helmet. It's so weird, but I put a bike helmet on. And since then, I only tried it like once or twice. Since then, I was able to do it like instantly after I removed the helmet, because knowing that, oh, I can get there, what am I scared about? And if your fear is that same thing, try all the things. Pillows, putting a block, maybe to help you. All right, now we're going to flow. When you get into your crow, lift one knee, heel up, and then maybe try to just baby lift the other. Whoop, like that, right? And see that air time. When you lift it a little bit hovered, you will feel your core, boom, engage a little bit. There's that like little sensation, and that's actually that deep core getting activated. So again, now I want you to get a feel of the other side. Right knee is now going to be leaning because you want to get used to left and right, not just one way, right? That's why you're practicing yoga. So you're going to do and lift the right leg up, and now the left is supporting you down. Whoo, and then you're going to lift, whoop. You feel that left side of your core getting activated as you lift. That's what you want to hold, and then maybe you can lift and float, right? But again, that requires a lot of practice. You don't need to do it right now. For now, we're gonna do more fold. That was intense, right? So after every time I have my knees bent, I like to really stretch my backs of my legs to kind of counteract that feeling. Good, and then now we're going to stretch some more using the fingertips from behind, and then push your hips forward, stretching your shoulders. Ooh, so good. Right, because this is counteracting what we did with the crow pose, right? Even if it's like this, it's still stretching. Is so good, and then release. Ooh, okay. Now we're gonna go to the tops of our mats, and then we're gonna come into our Bakasana, or easy cross-legged position. From here, we're going to get used to the knees lifting up, okay? So from there, we'll lift it up and drop. 4, 5, drop. 4, drop. 3, drop. 2, and the last one, we're gonna hold. 1, hold and compress your body, belly and thigh connection. Drop the hands down. And it's gonna be a little bit wider than your shoulders, that's fine. And holding. Good. From here, you're gonna stand up with that cross-legged position. Good. Stay. So see, I'm now standing on the pinky side edge of my feet. If you can't stand that way, obviously you will have to be flattened down, right? This is requiring a lot of ankle mobility too, which is gonna save you from getting injured in the long run. Okay, drop the hips down. You're gonna swap sides. Extend forward, half boat, and then cross the other leg on top of the other. Same thing, from here, you're gonna lift your bum, cross shape fold. Drop the hips, half boat, kick it forward, switch sides, and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Protract, drop, switch sides, boom, lift up. 5, protract. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay here. You're going to walk back with an X shape. Bits by bits, baby step. And then now try to get into your downward dog with that cross shape. Good, now back to our downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna flow. Feet together. Right leg will lift up, breathe in. Exhale, rolling your shoulders back to your one-legged high plank. Good, shift forward, shoulders past the wrist, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Doing that on the other side, left leg lifts up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, round to one-legged high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, yes, so good. Good. Now, you're gonna bring one leg, right leg first, cross it. So you're gonna tap that knee, right knee. but your shin is kind of crossed. From there, you're going to really plant that foot down, either the pinky side edge or dropped firmly, whatever is comfortable for you. As you shift your weight forward, shoulders past the wrist, you're sliding that back foot now towards the opposite hand, X shape. Good. This is a great way or technique for you to get used to jumping back. This is one of the most common questions I get, how to jump back. Now you're gonna drop down, seated cross, right? So same thing what we did earlier. From there, you're gonna switch sides, whoop, and then put it behind your hand, your feet. Okay, you're gonna do this again, right? Holding this position is gonna help so much with jumping back. That's why I ask you to do that. Okay, from there, you're going to try to just lift, whoop, your feet, whoop, both at the same time, whoop, right? And then keep on doing that. That requires a lot of, kind of like you're jumping a lot. But then eventually, you'll be able to jump back to chaturanga, right? And you can stay and cheat like that until you get to your jump back. Whoo! And then we're just going to end in our child's pose because I'm exhausted. I forgot to mention why we did that is because if you're working on crow, to jump back to chaturanga, that's a great way to start. But before we end, I forgot to mention, if you want to really play with your crow to strengthen it and you can already get into your crow pose, you can do this. So get into your crow, right? So see, as you lean your knees towards your arms, you're shifting your weight to your shoulders past the wrist, and then you're gonna float your toes up. As you do this float, you're now sucking your belly in. That is your activated deep core engagement, heels towards your bum. And then from here, you can start to tap one thing at a time. So when you do that, it will activate half of your core. You will feel that. And then the other half is kind of relaxed, and then you can start to jump back. Because doing that left and right also helps to feel your your deep core. One side is getting activated as you kind of drop the foot towards the wrists, or doing the toe taps, if you will. Whew. All right. Whew. It's so sweaty. I'm so exhausted. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And if you like more of these type of videos, let me know what kind of arm balance you like next. I have a lot of requests about flying things. Dude, the flying things is hard to cue because, you need a lot of effort to talk and do it at the same time. But as always, if you enjoyed this class, make sure to leave this video, give me your thumbs up, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!